Welcome
Welcome.
Welcome.
to
Welcome.
Breakfast Together.
Hello, everybody.
Привет.
Good morning, günaydın.
Good morning.
Another episode. Welcome to Breakfast Together, everybody. Hey!
Woohoo! Welcome.
Hey, welcome back.
The Sunday morning excitement.
How everybody's doing? How are you, Asya?
Wow, I'm fantastic. Thank you very much. Very happy to be connected to you again. And hello to our lovely audience. I am not sure, it's episode 5 or 6?
Let's say 5 and then
Yeah,
we can
wow.
edit it. 5 or 6.
It's whatever episode you want it to be.
How are you doing, Irena?
I'm doing great. Actually, in my culture, this week is something. No, wait, it was last week, I think. Anyway, we have something called Maslenitsa, the kind of transition from winter to spring, and then we have the dates switched because, like, Russian Maslenitsa and Ukrainian Maslenitsa. Anyway, like it's a holiday where we just bake pancakes and eat them.
Okay.
Oh my
Amazing.
god.
Yes.
Is that like the bline? The typical.
The
Yeah.
blini,
Yeah.
exactly. And usually my mom and I we do it on a Sunday or Saturday. Yeah, we're gonna
What's the
do it.
record? I can eat 10, I think, easily.
Nine. Mine is 9.
Wow.
I think Dim and I need to test that as well, guys. So
Yeah.
money
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
of
next
course.
time.
Anytime. Ahla wa sahla. Welcome, guys. And yeah, I would be happy. Ukrainian hospitality. Always happy to see and receive guests at
And
home.
feed
So
guests.
That's
anytime.
lovely.
Of course, anytime and
Great
anytime.
idea for breakfast.
Russian pancakes, Russian because my mom is from Russia, so the recipe comes from
Okay.
there. So welcome. How are you, Kilemahos?
I'm good. Lots of things going on. Lots of yeah, running around as we say in Greece, or like uh, being being placed in the socket, in the power plug socket, as we also say in Greece. But yeah, lots of things going on. But yeah, I'm really active. Let's say.
Wow. Let's slow down this Sunday morning, I guess, isn't it? After the whole week.
After the coffee, it's difficult, but let's try.
And what we're gonna talk about today, Irena?
Yeah, I was thinking that we could talk about typical free time or cultural activities that people do in the countries where we live or in the countries where we have lived or have the knowledge about. Um, the reason why I suggested it is because I personally think that Norwegians do some really weird stuff. And it's also interesting why they do it, like what's behind those activities that they do, because I think it tells a lot about their mentality and the way they see the world. Would you?
Opening the door of
Yes,
interest for this superb country of Norway, isn't it? I think this is how a
exactly.
lot of people perceive it.
Exactly, the welfare state, the paradise
Yes.
on earth. And what about you guys? What do people usually do, and what do you like joining that the locals do, and what do you find weird?
I could start something that I'm not sure about how I feel about that, but I think the national sport. I would say in Berlin, but I would probably in Germany. That is table tennis, and you see everybody playing table tennis everywhere here.
Wow.
That's so
It's
interesting. Wow.
yeah, there's like a lot of games. I think there is another one that I'm not sure how it's called. They have some kind of
The metal ball.
yeah, with a metal ball. Yeah, do you know how it's
That's
called?
so bizarre. I
Yeah,
have
that's
no idea
bizarre.
how
That's
it's
bizarre.
called.
When is it? What does it include? Is it with the wall or something? Or
No, you have
It's a
some
bit
kind
of
of some kind of shapes, like triangles and different rectangles, and I'm not quite sure. And you have to throw the ball and hit them. But I might be wrong.
yeah. It feels a little bit like bowling, but kind of like that you can do in a park. It's
Exactly.
oh, I think I kind of know that. Isn't it that the older generation usually plays that?
Right.
yes,
Right.
yes.
Yes.
It's a grandpa in park activity.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen that in Switzerland. It does ring a bell. But they were not playing with the shapes. They would just play with the balls when they would throw it, and the one ball had to touch another ball and kind of push it forward. And I think it was something about having your ball first, crossing the line or something.
Right. I'm not quite sure how this whole thing works, but it's something that you
Yeah.
typically see here and mostly from older generation. But yeah, the other thing, as I mentioned already, is the table tennis that in order to integrate to this country, or at least Berlin, you need to know or to have some knowledge of how to play table tennis. It's one of the
That's
most typical things
amazing.
to do.
The
Wow,
Chinese
das ist
people,
fantastisch.
the
Yeah.
Chinese people would fit in perfectly, aren't they?
Oh
Like
my god.
Yeah.
world
Wow.
masters in table tennis.
I'm really bad at that, so I shouldn't be probably even trying. Good you told me.
No, the thing is that I because coming from Greece, and I think Telemachos will also agree with that. We don't have, or you see, mostly people like in the free time here in Germany, they do a lot of sports. Like they go for run, they go for cycling, they go for weird games, like the one that we mentioned already with the ball.
Weird park
Yeah,
games.
with board games. But in Greece, you normally don't have so much. We don't have this culture of doing sports. Yeah, we play football, we play basketball, and like the common popular sports, but we don't do that often. We don't play like table tennis. You do not see people play table tennis in the park. Like
Hmm.
actually, that's the same happened in Barcelona. That I was recently there. People spend time on table tennis, and it's like a bit more the sport culture integrated in their society than in Greece. That's my opinion, though. I'm not sure. I don't know what's your experience, Telemachos.
This was one of my. I will definitely agree with that, and this was also one of my first culture shocks coming to Germany, because I noticed that Germans are very outdoorsy people,
Yeah.
which is
Wow, despite
surprising.
the weather.
Yes,
Wow, I'm
but
also
it kind of
surprised.
makes sense because on one hand the weather is colder, but on the other hand, you can dress up for the weather. But the problem is that in Greece, if it's like 42 degrees outside, you cannot
You
do
have to
anything.
undress for the
And
weather.
even then, like if you do physical activities, you get like so hot and tired, it's difficult to actually be active like that. So and I remember one anecdote is that we once went to I was in Bavaria, and we went to a park by the lake, like it was like Saturday noon or something, and it was a group of us, like internationals, like my international bubble. So it was, Greeks, Brazilians, Italians, Latinos, everything. And we were having a barbecue, like 25 of us, like talking, being loud, blah, blah, blah. And there was like next to us, like a group of like 50 Germans sitting on these like beach chairs
This is already funny.
around two trees watching a tree climbing contest. And for me, this was like
Wow.
so bizarre because they were quiet. It was like the opposite of us. They were quiet. They were doing something like, in nature and physical and everything. And we were like just eating a lot of like barbecue food and talking and being loud. So it was like for me kind of like the two opposites, like the big difference between like a more northern culture thing and a more southern culture thing.
I think there's a lot of contemplation going on in colder countries, and at the same time, it's easier to be active when it's colder than when it's super hot. Obviously, cold should have some certain, I think, level, because if it's too cold, then again, uh,
Yes,
it,
like Norway.
yeah, Irena. So, how about, because you said you know a couple of weird things that
Yeah.
Norwegians are doing? Weird how? Weirder than ping pong?
Actually, it's funny because ping pong is not the national sport of Norway, but we have the ping pong table at work. But yeah, we have like many game areas that people can play, like whatever shuffleboard and ping pong. We have a very good office. But yeah, Dimi and Telemachos, when you were talking about sports and stuff, you reminded me of one really weird thing or sport or whatever that the Norwegians do. Because as you our dear listeners might know, the Norwegians are very good at skiing and they really
Oh
like
yeah.
skiing. They are born with skis on their feet. So when their skiing season is over, there are still people that continue to ski. They have like really like long skis, and they basically looks like roller, rollers.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, so they practice for skiing even in the summer. You can see that people are like going on these fake skis on the along with the cars, like together with the cars. So you're like, these people never stop.
On the street.
This is actually pretty great. I feel like, practicing the whole year. The sport is like typically winter or summer.
Yeah. I mean, like, of course, you can really see that they're passionate, but it's just like super weird, especially for us foreigners. Other things that they do, I mean, like, yes, I also have to agree with you, the Greek team, Team Greece, that Norwegians are very, very also like the Germans. They dress according to the weather. In Norwegian, there is a famous saying: "There is no bad weather, only bad clothes."
Oh yeah.
Uh, that
Oh
is
yeah.
like
I've
the
heard that
essential.
before.
Exactly, that's the essential of the Norwegian culture. So they always go out, and that's like another contrast. For example, in Ukraine, if it rains, you don't go out.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
why? You wait. But in Norway, the rain might never stop. So you
You
this
have
is
no
what I learned
choice.
after 12 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like you have to, like, if you want to go out and you don't want to spend the whole day at home, like you have to just dress properly accordingly, and you have to go out. And then but what I wanted to say, what I find particularly interesting in Norway, not really regarding the sports, but like the hobbies that the Norwegians do, apart from drinking every weekend and spending a lot of money. uh,
I think drinking is it can be applied to any of the countries
Any
we live
country,
in,
yes,
apart
no,
yes.
but
from
here
probably Turkey
J-
as
What
much.
do you mean just the weekend?
Yeah.
a really long, a really long discussion, but also because I do not drink alcohol, so I look at it critically. But the Norwegians have a very special relationship with the alcohol, meaning that it's not
Is it
very good.
special how? Special Polish or
No,
special?
special, like they don't know how to drink. It's
Oh, I see. Oh
exactly
no,
the
that's not Polish way then because Polish
yeah,
do know.
that's exactly the opposite of Italian or Spanish, where they enjoy, like they know how to do it. But the Norwegians, like, just once, like in the weekend, they go hard. They, like, they get drunk. And people, dear listeners, you might disagree with me, and you might throw stones at me, but I mean, 12 years of experience, as we say in Russian, you cannot uh, drink and waste that. Опыт не пропить.
There are
And
already
yeah,
people like writing angry comments right now.
Yeah.
exactly. Like, how dare you? Why are you still in this country? Well, guess what? I'm also Norwegian. I have the passport. But anyway,
Ta-da!
yeah,
Deportation the next day. Hello, Irena. That's it.
that would be a little bit difficult because I work for the immigration authorities, so I would deport myself. Yeah,
Yes,
I
this
mean,
will
I
be your
deport
last
You will
task.
sign
Smart,
your own paper. Hopefully not.
smart,
exactly.
smart, smart to work
Sometimes
there, right?
I don't deport people, but I participate in deporting some people. So yeah. Um, no, anyway, I wanted to say about the things that I find kind of weird, but it really tells a lot about the Norwegians and their mentality. It's they love doing in their free time is quizzes and board games, and I don't like either. I don't like quizzes because I don't like feeling stupid. And like most of those quizzes, I don't know what they're about. Like, you need to prepare. I don't know, like, who built the bridge in 1985. I mean, I don't care. Like,
I'm
how
sure
does
there's a cheat sheet for this one. Hey, here it is. Just have a look.
But here it's so popular, even at work. When I started working in the Directorate of Immigration, they used to gather every single day and play the quizzes. And I
But isn't
never
it
did.
the feature of the cold countries, like pub
Yep.
quizzes from the UK and
Yeah, yeah.
Ireland, when they just
Precisely.
Also
grab a
Germany. Yeah.
pint and
Yeah.
Also
yeah,
Germany happens the same thing. I think
pub
it's like a
quiz is like
northern.
so popular.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. And another thing is board games,
And
which is
karaoke.
again not so popular here. Not so
Okay.
popular. We have karaoke, but not so popular. And this is very characteristic because why do they like particularly those activities? Because, as Asa mentioned, you can do them inside. And also, my theory is because you don't really have to talk.
Yeah,
You
because it's
you talk
based on a paper sort of prescribed activity, a
about the
board game
game.
or so.
Yeah,
You follow instruction. You don't need to
exactly.
be creative for anything else.
Yeah, no dangerous, controversial questions asked. No, like,
No,
topics for discussion. No, you just
it's
stick
sort of
to
an
the
instructed activity, I'd
safe,
say.
safe environment. You know.
Very interesting. I can definitely chip into this group of bad weather, bad clothes or good clothes, because when I live between let's say Poland and Turkey, yeah, but when I lived in Ireland for 2 years, this is exactly what I saw in there, where people were just saying, "Whoa, like it doesn't matter if it's raining for a week or two or three, we have all our events on. We just continue our life, and kids don't care about the weather. Nobody ever like cries, 'Mom, I'm not gonna go out. It's too cold.' There is nothing like this. Nobody's being spoiled about the weather because the sun doesn't come to Ireland so often. So everybody just gets on with this. They have very comfortable, very, I would say, good clothing for such conditions. Whether in Poland, even though the country is cold, people are in love with warm clothes, and we don't take them off unless the real spring or summer comes. So people are very suspicious about, like, let's say nowadays we have February and it's 15 degrees sometimes. Even people are still wearing puffy coats and hats and scarves. Me, I'm just wearing like one t-shirt, like t-shirt with like a hoodie, because I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. But then people don't trust the weather, and I think the weather relationship in here determines a lot of the activity that they're doing. I mean, I live in the northern part of Poland right now, and I have a sea 2 minutes from my house, which is an absolute luxury. And yes, weird activity you can see on my Instagram from pretty much every week. We do go inside the sea. Yeah, that's called ice swimming. Even though ice swimming qualifies, if I'm not mistaken, only below 4 degrees. So approximately from January to February, the water is below 4 degrees. So at the moment, it's around 3.5 degrees, which it doesn't
Yeah,
get
so for us,
frozen.
everything you do is ice swimming for us. You can pretend it's ice cream. We won't judge
Actually,
you for it.
actually, some people may agree with you, because a lot of people complain about the Baltic Sea is that even in summer, the temperature doesn't come of the sea to the comfortable level of water. So it's maybe 15, maybe 17 degrees max. So this is not something people enjoy, because people enjoy 25, 29 degrees waters.
Hmm.
For
Boy.
example, in Turkey, I don't really know people who enjoy anything below 24 degrees of water.
Yeah, why
They
would
would
you?
not go in unless it's really, really warm. And for me, it's like, what? I can swim the entire year in here. The water is like 15 degrees in January. Fantastic. Yeah.
But I have a question to you, Asya, because I saw on some of the pictures that you had, your husband is Turkish,
Yeah.
and I saw, like, wasn't he on some of the, like, doesn't
Oh,
he go into?
absolutely.
What
Absolutely.
does he think
He's
about this?
Oh, he loves it because, frankly speaking, the benefits of ice swimming, I don't want to promote anything. I don't try myself, and I've been doing it for the second year in a row, and believe me or not, for those 2 years, I haven't been sick once. It's very popular again during the winter kind of holidays for Polish people to be sick, to have a flu, and this and that. Nothing. It boosts your energy levels. It really boosts your health levels. You don't get sick easily. You don't get cold easily. I hate cold. I mean, everybody knows, who knows me knows how much I am a lover of warm temperatures, and my turkey times are amazing because the climate is much more mild. But I really enjoy my time here and doing ice swimming, because I'm much more resistant right now to cold, and I don't really mind the rain, the wind, because I've been in those conditions almost naked going inside the water. So, you know,
I think your husband really loves you. That's all. That's that's pure
yes,
love.
He's
that's
willing to
for
do
sure.
that for
But believe
you.
me, he sees the benefits. He wouldn't be doing it unless he thought it's really good. And yeah,
Like, we could wink. I'm going to, by the way, visit. I didn't tell you guys. We didn't tell you guys. I'm gonna visit Asya soon, and I'm gonna be trying this ice bathing as well. And I
What
will
is
oh
your
tell you, like,
my
wink,
experience?
God.
wink if you're here not voluntarily. Wink if you need help.
Blink twice.
Yeah. So, by the way, yeah, what I wanted something to add. It's really funny because one friend of mine that is from Spain, we were walking outside, and it was raining that day here in Germany, and we
Hmm.
were like outside and walking, and it was raining, and both of us we had an umbrella, and you could see the German people like just walking with just like not like heavy rain, just like some light rain. We were making fun of like how not used we are, how like we're not used to go out with just like light rain for them are like normal. And the same thing I think is like for more northern countries like I've heard the same thing about the Scottish people, that even during summertime, like in August, there it rains and they just, that's the normal life. They just go to the beach. They're gonna probably swim. The weather is more or less like 10 to 15 or 15 to 20 degrees Celsius, and it's just like they just live their life. And for us, if it's just like like rain for let's say half an hour, we're gonna stay home, and then whenever it's done, we're just gonna move with our life, go do our shopping or go outside. Or yeah, I remember a lot of times I cancel or like I postpone like meeting a friend because of the rain, and say like, "Eh, let's wait for 1 hour, then we meet each other." So
That is
that's
so typical. When I was
yeah.
in Greece, I remember I ordered delivery, and then my friend was like, "Oh, you shouldn't have done that," and I was like, "Why?" He was like, "Because it's raining," and I was like, "And," and he was like, "The delivery guy's gonna be mad." I was like,
What?
But to your friend's defense, rains in Greece are different than rains in north of Europe because you know, like in northern Europe, usually what you have is that you have this like annoying drizzle
Oh,
or
mrzawka we call it in
rain.
Polish.
Yeah, you have the Javka, and a Greek other comedian, I forgot her name right now, but she has a joke about that actually because she was living in the UK. But you know, in Greece, it's like when it rains, it pours.
Pouring rain,
So
yeah.
it's like you have like rain for like I don't know 2 hours. It's like the heavens open up and like drop buckets of
Yeah, it's
water
like
everywhere.
tropics.
And because we're like our infrastructure is bad in general, but even worse for rain, you have like streets flooding, like you know cars floating in
Oh
the
yeah.
like in the street and everything. So you know you have like chaos for a few hours, and then it's like sunny again.
Oh yeah,
So
that reminds me of the Middle East where people their activity is to actually watch and record rain because it happens extremely rare. When I was living in Muscat in Oman, it was raining for one day in a year and the whole entire neighborhood would come out to record it. And then the news were saying that some people even died because it was like something extreme for them. So it's like an activity, it's like a show, it's like some kind of, you know, end of the world type of thing.
Okay, it's fun enough that every time that we have a meeting, like we record this podcast, I learn something new about you, Asya. That I didn't know that you were in Oman.
I was thinking exactly the same thing. I'm like, have you lived in Oman?
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna
"There's
surprise you every single time,
power."
like, and I lived in this place as well, and this one.
And I was a prime minister of Bahrain at some point.
Oh yeah, sure. And the wife of a sheikh. No.
So during my 1 month on the International Space Station,
Uh-huh. During my mission on Mars.
Um, so back to what we're discussing. I don't know if you, like Asia and Irena, you have like something weird that you do in your country. But I think one of the weirdest things that we do in Greece, it's koliva. So in the memoriam of a beloved person, since we were talking about weird things, in the memoriam of beloved person that just passed away, I think the second day probably we do this kind of dessert that is called koliva, and it's like made of nuts, some other seeds, and a lot of sugar, if I'm not wrong.
I
And
have no idea to be honest.
yeah, I think it's like mostly with nuts and some seeds and some different spices.
It's kind of traditional, yeah. It's like it's this type of kind of like traditional Aegean sweet where you have you know like a mix honey, nuts, and sugar, and well now it's sugar,
I
but
don't
it's
think
like
they had
this
the honey, but I think it's
nutty
only
version.
happens in Greece. It's like I haven't heard anybody talking about this, and it's peculiar because you do it
Maybe in the
also this.
Balkans.
Could be, but I think it's one of the peculiar things that we do in Greece when somebody passed away. The second day, and you normally have this in church, like you know, in the second day you go to the church and you mourn for the person, and you give this as a dessert for after the church. So you share it with other people, even people that you don't know. It's not
And you
like
have
only
coffee.
yeah,
It's for some reason it's also very important to have coffee.
right,
That's
right.
matter. if you it's not even in the morning like today. It's yeah, it's whatever time it is, it's like always like coffee and this coliva and a bit of mingling between families and relatives and everything.
Right.
I
And
I think we can record the whole entire episode on the funerals and the whole rituals, traditions around those, because I'm sure there will be a lot of.
On food, which is not connected to funerals, and that could be a separate episode. I'm sure that we have a lot to share, like fun and weird stuff and some tasty ones.
I'm sorry about that. Do you have something, Irena, in your culture that you do, not like about like food or whatever, but like something weird that you do only in your culture, your region, or
Yeah, it's a little bit hard because claiming that only we do that, would mean that I have the knowledge about how everyone else does that.
It's okay.
But
We put a disclaimer that all is relative based on our experience. We don't know all the cultures of the world, so don't worry
And
about
we
it.
can
right.
have some of the listeners comment on whether they've experienced something like this in the place where they live.
yeah, exactly. Please do. We would love to know. Yeah, actually, it's funny because we have a kind of similar tradition, but you mentioned that basically what I understood to sum up in Greece, you just make this dessert, which sounds really tasty. So maybe it almost made me feel like you're looking forward to someone dying so that you will try this dessert.
You can do it without like somebody dying. It's not that you have to wait for that
No,
Okay.
time.
nobody does it without somebody dying.
But yeah, no, in Ukraine we have like a super weird tradition, which is that we go to the cemetery, for example, and we eat there. And we eat and we drink there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do
so
you
so
also
we
like pour like wine or like drink on the grave of the person?
well, yes,
That's
Really?
not
Like
pretty
in the
much
movies?
across. I think it's the same in Poland, where people do consume some of the liquids as well at the cemetery.
but as Asa said also, like it's a whole, like it's quite complex for me to explain this in this short episode and how people do that, but like you can see people literally eating like next to the grapes. For some people it's bizarre, and like Polish or any kind of cemeteries, to the ones I have seen and been, they look like, chill. It's just a park in Norway. Many people, another weird activity, they actually go to the cemetery as if
Just
it
for a
were
walk, yeah.
just for a walk. In Ukraine, you cannot do that. The cemeteries are creepy. Like you would never want to go there voluntarily. You only go there because you have to like honor the memory of your beloved ones. But actually, I remembered also when I was in Jamaica. We witnessed a really cool tradition called the Nine Night. We were at a market in Ocho Rios, a popular town where cruise ships come, but there was no cruise ship there that night, and we were just like looking around. It was already dark, the market was about to close, and then they invited us to have dinner with them and have a drink, and we were like, well, what's the occasion? And they were like, oh, there was one of the vendors, the lady that was working here, she died, and now we are kind of saying goodbye to her and honoring her memory, and please have a drink and eat with us for free. Like this is a tradition, this is very important for us. They had loud music, they were having fun because Jamaicans, they are descendants from the Africans that were brought there. So the Jamaican culture is really influenced by the African culture, and in the African culture they do not always necessarily mourn death, they
Yeah,
celebrate
it's
death.
more like a celebration of
No.
life of the person who's gone.
Exactly. So people were, smoking weed and dancing and singing and, being actually quite happy, like kind of grateful for this granny to
Yeah,
have
for the
been
time
there.
they
That,
got to spend with the person, with the
Yeah.
that's a nice
deceased.
celebration. No? It's sounds like a fun thing to do after somebody dies.
Yeah, and
Like
and
what
then we were
what
also
the person would want, I imagine as well.
exactly like I mean, like even in our Occidental cultures, like I guess that you could say like my last wish is that you don't mourn,
Oh,
but
I'm definitely requesting everybody to have fun. You know,
okay, noting.
yeah. We can discuss them more in detail in our next episode, because I think there's a lot of things we can add here and develop. But as of now, um, let us know what activities come to your mind, guys, if you're listening anywhere around the world, and we can compare.
Thank you, everybody, and have a good one. Paka paka.
Have a great Sunday.
Thank you for listening.
you. Спасибо.
Görüşürüz.